south of metropolitan Vancouver. So he steps in as, an 18, 19-year-old, and held his own against some of the collegians in that race. Bodes well for the young freshman as he gets set to embark on his collegiate career. Meantime, we're getting to the final section of the 3,000 meters on this productive and entertaining day of track and field at the Dempsey Indoor Facility on the campus of the University of Washington. Ty Clark going to be out in front here early for section 4. And you see Andy Powell say, hey, just slow down, relax. So whether Clark is a pace setter or not, we'll see. As these guys already in single file line for the first full lap of the track around the Dempsey Oval. And maybe why he was saying slow down is that Andy Powell has a vested interest in bib 6604. That is none other than Owen Powell, the son of Andy and Mauricia Powell. Has had a exceptionally productive high school career, and in the most shocking of developments in collegiate recruiting, has announced he's going to sign with, wait for it, the University of Washington.
Really shook things up there. You had me waiting with bated breath, Paul.
Well, there was, I know it worked for prime time and the Sanders, but and I suppose given the talent that we see out of the coaching staff with Andy and Mauricia at Washington, he'll be in good hands, and that'll be a fun thing for them. And we've known, as you have, Andy and Mauricia for a long time, and have really kind of grown up watching Owen grow up himself, and he really has blossomed into a exceptional young man, an exceptional runner, and I think he'll be on his way to great things and joining a great culture of excellence that's been built by his parents here at the University of Washington. Ahead of him is Tavon Kitchen, another outstanding high schooler out of the Northwest, out of the state of Oregon, so getting a little bit of a taste of the future here of collegiate track and field with a couple of high schoolers in the mix here in this final 3,000 meter section. So it seems as though Clark from Cal Poly is doing a little bit of pacing on behalf of these high schoolers right now.
And that pace 210 through 800 meters. So doing a good job of keeping things really honest there up front for this good mix of athletes, as you mentioned, between collegians and elite high school prospects as well.
Tyrone Gorsey of Central Point, Oregon, who is now a member of the University of Washington program, actually has the fastest ever high school mark at 3,000 meters on an oversized track. Set that in 2023. I fully expect that happen here at Dempsey at 8:05:17. And then last year, Josiah Tostenson ran 8:06:88. So we'll keep an eye on the pacing here as they click through these early laps. But it still is Clark, Kitchen, Powell, and Will Schneider.
And Kitchen was doing a lot of looking around. I'm curious if it was a cue or he was listening to something inside the track, or if it was navigating and trying to get himself into position. But something to kind of watch here as we are starting to see some separation. There, he just did it again, looked over his left shoulder to the inside of the track. Could be maybe the pacing that he's questioning. And now he's moving to the outside. Looks like he's communicating, maybe trying to relay something to Owen Powell, perhaps, and bring him up there. Looks like we're getting some good work between those guys.
1,600 meters in 4:21:7. Here's now a move by Isaac Briggs. As Briggs going to insert some pace here. Another member of the University of Washington ran cross country, and again, the luxury of having such a deep stable of runners here at the University of Washington is you can have some guys running unattached. And that is what Briggs is doing right now with Kitchen and Powell. Here comes some of the University of Portland athletes coming into picture. Trey Gannon on the inside, and then on the outside, can't see the bib number there, but another one of the Portland athletes starting to push here as we once again have 3 laps to go and a host of talent here at the front.
This is going to be a spicy finish over these final 2 laps with the guys who you have up front in contention in the mix right now, and everybody wants a taste of the lead.
And here now is Kitchen to the lead. Kitchen, Powell, who's known for his 800-meter exploits, is going to have something to say about this because he's got potentially stuff left into the tank. Meantime, it's Jonah Bodersky, I believe, for Portland, along with his teammate Trey Gannon. So a couple of high schoolers, a couple of collegians. Looks like Briggs is kind of losing traction now. And look at Kitchen. He's gone to the next gear as he is now committed to this thing. Powell laying and waiting here as they head to the backstretch.
This is where you get a good vantage point of who is straining at this point. Look at just the facial expression, look at the upper body and how everyone's carrying themselves. Still Powell looking really relaxed at this point in the race. He's done a great job of really staying in contact, not letting that lead get too far in front of him.
Yeah, Kitchen's arm swing. There's Dad Powell talking to Son Powell, and Kitchen again with another surge here with a lap to go. And I think that might have surprised Powell a little bit because Kitchen's now got the advantage of a little extra room here on the backstretch. Preston Schmidt's going to have to get out of the way. Kitchen now around him. Powell has lost now second position as one of the Portland athletes now trying to come back into the midst. Tavon Kitchen into the home stretch. Only 3 preps have ever run this distance on any track indoors under 8 minutes. Kitchen almost getting on that list as well, but he will get himself a exceptional run here. It will be the fastest ever run by a high schooler on an oversized track, 8:02:02, breaking the mark by Tyrone Gorsey by more than 3 seconds. Not a bad way to end it.
Wow. And here we had what were, set up to be those invitational races that were shifted to earlier in the schedule. This was as exciting as any of the races we have seen this afternoon. Look at these guys enjoying what was a spectacular performance. Such a display of sportsmanship, right? Like that, the respect that those two have of one another and really well using each other. It looks like there's maybe Marisa Powell coming over to chat with the guys as they're enjoying a hard-earned rest on the edge of the track right now. Let's see how this race shaped up right here. This is where, you see the pace setter, your rabbit steps off the track. Kitchen is there seemingly looking around, gauging where Powell was, maybe a little bit of communication. And then a very decisive kick over the final lap for Tavon Kitchen. Gets into full stride, full sprint, digging all the way to the finish.
Well,
And
part of that
there you have it.
talent
Nothing
pool.
says it better than looking at
Yeah.
it right there, right?
Those guys are going to be going at it, I think, for many seasons to come. Kitchen out of Central Point. A lot of great talent out of that southern part of the state of Oregon, and setting a new standard for high schoolers on a track of this size. The oversized track has never seen a high schooler run a 3,000.